Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive deep into a single, really powerful message from Spirit, and it's all coming through one specific tarot card. So, what kind of wisdom does it hold for us? Well, let's jump right in and find out.
All right, so this card comes from the absolutely beautiful Connect to Spirit deck. And look at this. Our guide for today's journey is card number 5, the Hierophant. Now, being a major arcana card, this guy is a big deal. He's all about being that crucial bridge between our everyday world and the spiritual realm. So the big question is, what's he trying to tell us? And right off the bat, the Hierophant hits us with a really deep question, one that gets right to the heart of his message. He's basically asking, are you just following the rules, the ones everyone else set out for you, or are you truly following the call of your own soul? Yeah, that's the core tension he wants us to really think about.
Okay, so let's get properly introduced to this spiritual teacher and really start to unpack the wisdom he's got for us. You know, the name Hierophant, it literally means one who shows what is holy. So you can think of him as like a master teacher or the ultimate spiritual guide. But don't just picture some stuffy guy obsessed with old books and rigid rules. That's not it at all. He's the keeper of sacred knowledge, and his whole job is showing us how to connect our everyday lives to something bigger, to a much higher purpose. And to really get what he's about, we've got to look closer. We need to decode the symbols that are just packed into this card's artwork. Trust me, every little detail reveals another layer of his message. Okay, first up, let's check out his number. You see that V? That's a 5. And in numerology, 5 is often called the number of mankind. I mean, think about it. It represents the fullness of our human experience, right? Our 5 senses, our struggles, our triumphs. So that number alone tells you so much about the Hierophant's main job. He's the great communicator between us, humanity, and the divine.
All right, next up, if you look closely, you'll see his astrological sign, Taurus the bull. Now, as an earth sign, Taurus is all about being grounded, practical, and super loyal. And this is so key, because even though the Hierophant is dealing with these big, lofty spiritual ideas, that Taurian energy keeps him real. It makes sure his wisdom isn't just some abstract theory. It's meant to be used, to be applied in a stable, practical way, right here in our daily lives.
And speaking of grounded energy, look at those red robes he's wearing. That's no accident. In symbolism, red is the color of action, of the physical, material world. So he wears it as a reminder that spiritual guidance isn't supposed to just float around up in the heavens. Nope, it's meant to be lived out, to be acted on right here, right now, on Earth. And finally, check out his hand gesture. It's that classic symbol of a blessing, right? But look closer. The 2 fingers pointing up, that's the heavens, the invisible spiritual world. And the 2 pointing down, that's Earth, our visible, everyday existence. So in one single powerful gesture, he's uniting them both. He literally is the channel. So, okay, he's a teacher, he's a guide, got it. But here's the thing. His message isn't always so black and white. He's got this dual nature, and that presents us with a really important choice. Just like pretty much every card in the tarot, the Hierophant has 2 sides to its story. When he shows up upright, he's offering one kind of energy. But when he's reversed, upside down, that message completely flips. It becomes this choice between following a well-worn, trusted path or just breaking away entirely. And wow, you can really see that contrast here. Upright, he's that wise mentor, all about tradition and real spiritual guidance. But reversed, he can totally become a bad guru, a symbol of terrible leadership, of just blindly conforming, or even that radical urge to just rebel against everything and everyone. It's such a powerful spectrum of meaning all in one card. The best way to really wrap our heads around this is to see how it actually plays out in real life. So let's walk through a quick story to see how this energy can totally transform a situation. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. Maybe this has even been you at some point. You're feeling this immense pressure, right? From your family, from society to take that safe job. You know the one, the lawyer, the doctor, the accountant. It's a good path, for sure, a traditional path, but it just leaves you feeling completely empty inside. See, that is the Hierophant in his reversed energy. That's the voice of conformity, that bad advice that whispers you should do this because it's what everyone expects of you. And when you follow that path, it just feels like you're rejecting a huge part of who you are. And man, that can leave you feeling totally, completely stuck. But then something shifts. You stop. You actually start to question those external rules. And this is where the Hierophant's upright energy starts to shine through. You go looking for true spiritual guidance. Maybe that's a mentor or a teacher, or maybe it's just listening to your own deep intuition for once. And you start to figure out what your values actually are, completely separate from what everybody else thinks. And that right there is the transformation. By tapping into that higher wisdom, you find a way to create a whole new path for yourself. Maybe it's not the traditional route, not at all. But who cares? It's the one that honors your soul's purpose. You've basically used the Hierophant's lesson to build your very own bridge between your spirit and your work.
Okay, so this is all great, but how do we actually bring this energy into our own lives, like on a daily basis? Well, the Hierophant is really asking us to tune our own moral compass. And I've got a super simple practice for you to do just that.
It's super simple. I call it the values check-in. So before you make any decision, big or small, just pause. That's step 1. Step 2, take a breath and ask yourself one simple question. Does this honor my personal truth? And then step 3 is to act from that place of alignment. When you do that, you're actively choosing your soul's wisdom over all that noise from outside expectations.
All right, let's wrap this up and bring it all together. What is the absolute core of the Hierophant's wisdom for us today?
Okay, so just remember, the Hierophant, he is your bridge. He's that link between your spirit and yourself. And yeah, he asks you to question tradition, but more than that, he wants you to define your own values. He's all about the power of a wise teacher, sure, but he's also about that powerful inner guidance you already have. And really, his ultimate message is so simple, but so profound. Make the most of your gifts. So hey, if this message resonated with you at all, it would mean the world to us if you'd hit that like button, drop a comment, and maybe share this with someone you think needs to hear it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more deep dives just like this one. And by the way, that gorgeous Connect to Spirit deck we used today, you can find it and a bunch of others that we feature over at www.shadowslight1111.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and exploring this really powerful message. We'll see you in the next one.
Noise, blue light in my eyes. Then your handle hits like a glitch in the sky. Shadows light, 11:11. Flip my fate in a 30-second heaven. 1 card, 2 cards, heart wide open. You say trust and the timeline's frozen. Shadows light, 11:11. Got me stuck on this little confession. Didn't come here looking for a sign, but you read my soul between the lines.